Hey beautiful, good to see you honey. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, girl, we're doing us a cool toned eye tutorial because I feel like I don't use cool tones often enough and I'm just now kind of learning to appreciate them, if you will. Today we are going to be using the Masquerade palette and the Magic palette by Juvia's Place, and possibly throw some glitter in there as well, depending on how brave I am feeling. So this is yet another one where it's more like a test run because I ain't tried it off camera yet, but I had a really sick idea in my head and I want to try it with all y'all out there. My eyebrows, they've been freaky lately, and today they totally just gave up on me. Girl, hit the like and subscribe buttons down below if you will help me pretend like this never happened. Alright, gorgeous. So I already got my primer and my setting powder on, as well as some banana powder on the edges because we are doing a more colorful, cool toned eye look today. So we are going to start off here in our crease with Zobo, which is kind of a lighter purple. More like a Barney purple if you ask me. And we're just going to put like a little light dusting on there. I'm going to pull it up high because we are doing like a high cut crease today. I'm just going to buff and blend it on all over the place. So I went back in with a little bit more of that shade to kind of turn it into its own transition shade and really blended it up at the top, but kind of left it a little bit dark in my crease. And we are going to move on to the next color. This one is coming from the Magic palette. We are going to go in with this Purred Blue right here, and we are going to stick that right in the crease and go just a little bit lower. Because it's really dark, I'm still going to use my big fluffy blending brush to kind of help prevent the streaks and, that whole thing. Keep it from sticking, creasing. That was the word that I was looking for, by the way. We're just going to blend that one out too. Now we're going to keep this somewhat low. Now, because this is such a dark blue, you can hardly tell that it's a blue in the pan. You don't need to go in with much at all, and be very careful. You want to blend this one out really well, or you're just going to have like a straight line of blue. Built up that blue and I'm really happy with it actually. It kind of goes from being like a dark blue to like a purpley blue to the purple. It worked out better than I could have ever expected, so yay. We are going to carry on and we're moving on to the shimmers, but first we're going to cut our crease. I'm using my favorite crease cut and concealer, as most of y'all know, and we're just going to go in and hope this works out. So I am going for like a high, more cut crease this time. For the most part, I only do this to really brighten my lid, but I'm trying to be all fancy and stuff today, so that is what I'm doing. And if you're not sure where to start when it comes to cutting your crease, you can start high or low, but aim for like going around your eyeball, basically. That is the best way I have found to do a good cut crease for everybody's eye shape. Alright, lovelies, now that my concealer has dried down and we're left with this, we're going to carry on to all the shimmers because, girl, there are a lot of shimmers that I'm about to use. The idea is that I'm going for like an ombre effect, and we're going to be using 4 total. We will be using these two and these two. It's going to kind of ombre from a light blue all the way to a purple at the very edge. So let's start with the lighter shades and see how that goes. I'm going to go in first with Zola in my inner corner, and of course I'm going to throw some on my favorite eyeshadow packing brush and spray her down with some Makeup Forever setting spray. We're only going to take it about a quarter of the way in. If you go a little farther, no worries. We're going to go in with this bright blue shade right here and do the same thing. And not quite where they meet, a little bit further in. I'm going to put that right there. Now, if you're not happy with the blending and you feel like it's just kind of like a stripe of color next to each other, you can go back in with your dry brush and just take a little bit of that lighter color and kind of pat it on the edge of the two there. And it looks a little better. Next, we are going to go in with this dark blue shade and do the same thing. Surprise! I like to get a good bit on the brush and then spray it. That way, there's less of a chance that you have to go back in and add more, because you can muddy up the shadow in the pan if you add too much. Setting spray, that is, and then it wets the eyeshadow down and kind of dries down weird. Alright, darling, I would say that they are even-ish. So we are going to carry on to the last shade, and that is this like royal purple right here. And we are going to put it on the last little bit of our lids. Yeah, the hair there. Not surprising. 3 dogs in the house. So I went ahead and cleaned up my crease area a bit as well as the edges because girl, they were looking rough. I also added some liner in today. I went with like a really short, thick wing, and I think it just kind of adds to the shape of my eye. It's not totally necessary. You could definitely just kind of tight line your lashes because it is kind of a dark, smoky eye look. A wing's not totally necessary, but I did it anyways. And I also blended it out just a bit, but I'm really digging it so far. So next we are going to smoke out our lower lash line, and though I don't normally do this, I'm going to go in with the darker shade first, and we're going to go back in with that blue down here and get it really tight to our lower lash line. Get as tight and close as you can, and then blender on back and forward. Clean off that brush a bit. I am going to go in with that purple that we used at the very beginning and just kind of smoke out the bottom of the blue that we just used. So I'm going to go in really lightly and just kind of tire all together. I know the camera's not picking it up, but it's doing exactly what I wanted. Just go along the very edge at the bottom of the blue there and just get like a light little purple transition shade going. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. I decided to pull that light blue down into my inner corner and lower lash line. Now we are going to highlight our inner corner and brow bone. And I'm thinking we are going to be using this white shade right here. It's really pretty and bright, and I think it'll be perfect for our inner corner. What did I say? Go easy up top so it's not like a white line, I hope. I like it. Alright, so we are done with the eyes. I'm going to throw on some mascara and, I don't know, maybe do something fancy with my cheeks. Alright, sweetness, since my little guy came home, I decided to just go ahead and finish up the look since I was really focusing on the eye tutorial for this video anyways. So I really wanted to show you the products that I used on my lips and cheeks before we finish the video. First up, I used the Buxom liner in Hush Hush to line and fill in my lips, and then I used just a teeny bit of the ColourPop Satin Lippy in Strip. Really pretty nude, actually. I didn't think that I would like it at first, but it goes so well with a lot of the darker colors. Makes a good shade for a lip ombre. Now, for my cheeks, as far as my cheeks go, girl, you know I busted out this palette. It's like my favorite highlighter palette ever. This is the Blacklight Highlight Palette from BH Cosmetics. And I started off with the blue shade at the front of my cheek here. And then I went in, like since I didn't have a darker blue highlighter or anything, I just went ahead and used the Jeffree Star Skin Frost in mint condition and put it right in the middle. And then finally, I used a purple from this palette. I know it looks pink, it's actually purple. And put it on the very back of my cheekbone there. And while the camera's probably not like picking it up very well, it looks a lot like what's on my eyes, and I was super happy about that. Well, darling, that is it for today. So let me know down in the comments what you think of this tutorial and the final look. Honestly, I'm digging it, and it turned out way better than I ever thought it would. I'm so happy, but that's it. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and go out and spread some love and positivity today, baby. We could all use some extra. You're beautiful, and I love you. Mwah. Bye, everyone.